The parlor held the same stale air it had kept for years. Martha sat in the dim light of the afternoon, her fingers tracing the empty space on the sofa where her husband used to rest. The fabric was worn, the cushion permanently depressed, a hollow monument to a presence long gone. She pulled her hand back, the silence of the room pressing against her ears like water. Then, a sharp, dull thud echoed from the corner. She did not jump. Her nerves had long ago hardened into a quiet numbness. By her feet, the tabby cat sat perfectly still. Between its front paws lay a dead mouse. It was stiff, its fur matted with dust and dried mud. Martha looked down, the sight registering as a mundane intrusion on her solitude. She leaned forward, reached out with a trembling hand, and lifted the small, cold weight. She carried it to the bin, her movements slow and rhythmic. She returned to the sofa, sat down, and whispered a soft, "Thank you," to the shadows. The room absorbed the sound, returning only the settling of floorboards and the slow, rhythmic ticking of a clock that no longer kept time. The next morning, the rhythm of the house felt fractured. Martha entered the parlor to find the cat waiting by the rug. A dead bird lay before it, feathers splayed outward in a jagged fan. Martha did not reach for it immediately. She stood over the small carcasses, noting the unnatural angle of its wings. The silence of the room seemed to sharpen, turning into a low, hum-like vibration that rattled the window panes. She eventually gathered the bird and disposed of it, her hands moving with less certainty than the day before. By the third day, the air in the parlor grew heavy, thick, with a scent she could not quite identify. The cat did not wait for her to sit. It scratched at the floorboards, dragging something heavy across the threshold. It was a rabbit. Its body was limp, showing signs of decay that suggested it had been kept for a long time. Martha stepped back, her breath hitching in her throat. She looked at the cat, but the animal simply blinked, its gaze fixed and unblinking. The gift was too large, too deliberate. She retreated to the far wall, her fingers gripping the edge of a mahogany side table. The routine had broken. The house felt smaller, the walls closing in with every passing second. By the end of the week, the parlor threshold was no longer a boundary. The cat dragged in a fox, its body heavy and unyielding against the floorboards. The sound of fur scraping wood was amplified in the quiet, a harsh, grating noise that set Martha's teeth on edge. As the creature came to rest, a scent hit her, stagnant, thick, and cloying, like damp earth mixed with rot. It filled the parlor, turning the air into something she could taste. Martha stood back, her breath hitching as the creature stared at her with unblinking eyes, its glassy gaze fixed in a permanent, hollow stare.